And go ahead and mute, Blake.
Okay.
Welcome to the Awesome Dynamic Show. This is Paul DeWarian from Awesome Dynamic, president and owner. We call it the Awesome Dynamic Show, but it is our webinar where we help you get found online, help you improve your website, help you get found on Google, answer questions about why someone might be showing up higher than you on Google. We answer all those questions for you. So you're always welcome to answer questions. Just to give you a little rundown on what Awesome Dynamic does, I'm going to turn the show over to Terry so he can tell us what Awesome Dynamic does. Terry?
All righty. Well, thank you. So I am Terry Levin. I am the Director of Sales for Awesome Dynamic, and we do design responsive websites. We will help you get found on Google with our SEO. We do Google virtual tours, 360 virtual tours, and we also are Amazon seller consultants, so we can help you get on Amazon and get your products sold on Amazon as well. So with that being said, I will turn you over to Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin, and I do all the SEO, so search engine optimization for your website so you can get higher up in the rankings and have your website dominate online. And here's Blake.
Hey folks, this is Blake Tintori. I assist Robin on the SEO side, and I also help Paul with tasks beyond Amazon. And I'm coming to you from Buenos Aires, Argentina today, actually.
And Blake, you just moved down there for a couple months, is that right?
Yes, sir. Lucky enough to have a position with your company that allows for such behavior, and I took advantage of it. And I came down here with a buddy, and be down here for 2 months initially, and it's beautiful already. The food's great, the people are amazing, our host is fantastic, and it's an exciting transition. So happy to be here.
We're all sufficiently jealous now.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you, Blake. I'm glad that you're
Thank you.
settled in down there in Buenos
Addis.
Aires. I was trying to practice saying it the right way prior to the webinar here. All right. Terry, we have well. First off, let me explain how the webinar usually works. So, on the home page, we have a place where it says Live Webinar Now. You'll see a still of me talking here from the beginning of the webinar. But there is this area on the right side where you can come in and type in your name, and then you can go ahead and post any sort of questions that you have, and we're happy to answer them there. Or you can click on this button here, which brings you to Google Hangouts. And if you hit the play button here, you're able to open up the. You need a Google account to do it, but if you log in that way, you're able to ask and answer questions using the question module. And I'll show, even though this is. This is what it will look like, and on the left side we have this question and answer, and down here on the right side you'll actually see the I don't know if it's even showing. It's not showing, is it? Let me see here. Unshare my screen and reshare it here. Screen 4. Oh, the Hangouts. Okay, so yeah, the Hangouts window will show itself here. So there is a question and answer button, and then you're able to answer those questions or post those questions, and we will answer those questions. Anything that you have to do with your website, anything that you have to do with your ranking positioning on Google, we're happy to answer those questions for you. And we do have every week, what we're doing now is lining up 2 potential websites that we want to or not potential websites, but websites or businesses where we'll evaluate their online presence, their website, and also how they show up in Google, some of the different search terms that they might want to show up for. We'll take a look at their competitors for those different search terms and give them some advice on what they can do to improve their presence. And those 2 today are going to be Mischiefs Brewing in Libertyville, Illinois, and we also have Pag & Company, which is located in Lake Bluff, Illinois. So, Robin, I see that you got those pulled up here, so we'll go ahead and bounce over to your screen, Robin, so you can start with Mischiefs, since you got that on the screen there.
All right.
Wait, Terry, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think we should start off with the other one because Michelle from Mischief was hoping to join us, but will probably be tuning in a little later. So
Okay, that's right. The second half hour potentially here. So let's start with Peg and Company. Robin, do you want to pull them up?
All right, so here's their website.
And do you see who made the website?
Fiorelli
Yep,
and Awesome Dynamic.
that's right. And this, just a little history here. This is one of the first websites that I created back, with Paul Fiorelli a long time ago, before I even knew what WordPress was, and we're making everything in WordPress these days. But the very long time ago, we created this site. Paul Fiorelli's graphics are involved, and I know a lot more now than I did then about SEO. In fact, then I didn't even know anything about SEO. But Robin, I want you to go ahead and do your worst. Give me your first impressions on what you see here, and we'll see what we can do to give Peg some advice on what we could do to make this site better.
Yeah, first off, that's a good point. Is that you can't just pay someone to do your website and then forget about it for 5 years or for 10 years, whatever. You have to constantly be updating your SEO, constantly be updating your website. So, Google's changing twice per day. Just from seeing this, when I go back down to 100%, it looks very small. The text is small. The logo's small, or this picture here. But what I do like is that you get a sense of what they sell right away. There's a huge picture of jewelry, so it looks like a professional booth. What I'd like to see is more close-up jewelry. Maybe a slideshow would be great here. It's a very simple website: home, products, contact. So just the basics. But what I'd like to see is maybe contact information up here. So if I want to buy this jewelry, I can just click up here really quick instead of having to click contact or going down here looking for the phone number. Maybe more bullet points and definitely a lot more text. Google now recommends around 1,500 words for the homepage. This is a business that you want to see who the owner is, and you want to connect with the jewelry. So a video of the owner talking about her jewelry and what makes her jewelry unique would go a long way here. And then for the products page, you want to have a separate page for each product. All right.
Which is, I want to comment on that, Robin. So it's interesting that your first impression is that she does jewelry, but obviously when you get to the products, you start seeing some of the clothing that she has. She actually has a very nice storefront in downtown Lake Bluff. And your first impression based on the homepage was kind of like a booth at a trade show almost, or a craft show. So she does get a lot of products from local artisans in the area, but she, this homepage picture kind of gives me that impression that you just said, which seems like it's almost like a booth somewhere rather than a whole store. So that might behoove Peg to have like a picture of the entire store, the storefront, so you get the idea that this is a place, a destination to go to in town. So that's interesting that you said that. The other thing is, we actually had a conversation with Peg at one point in time about how they wanted to change the website to be able to feature all their products on their website and have those be in an e-commerce platform so they could sell online. And we talked a little bit about that, Peg, Kurt, and I, and said that the best venue for that might be, especially since it's artisan and it's not high volume, the same type of product, which is really ideal for Amazon. Maybe doing something on Etsy would be better. And I know that I had my wife's friend, Amanda, who does a lot of sales on Etsy, go over there and kind of help them out with selling on Etsy. And the reason why I recommend that rather than going through your own website is because if you are going to sell on your own website, you're going to have to put all these products on your website, and then once that's done, you have to figure out a way to get all those people to your website to buy it. And the advantage of using something like Amazon or Etsy is that there's already millions of people on those sites looking for products. And if you can get your products in front of those millions of people, that cuts out the whole SEO piece of the puzzle, which can be quite extensive and time-consuming, especially when your target audience is a huge amount of, basically the United States, and you want them to buy your products. So That being said, the SEO that I think Peg could really capitalize on is making sure that she comes up for the different things that she does locally, not necessarily on a per product basis, but just the different categories of products. So, Robin, go ahead and go back to the products page. We see that she does jewelry. We see that we have unique clothing. We see that we have the title kind of says unique jewelry and gifts. So perhaps having main categories of products here on the page rather than one page per product will help Google understand what your store has in terms of types of products, and it'll help your store come up in local search results when people are looking for a store like yours to go to as a destination. And then using something like Etsy as a venue to actually sell products online, because then your individual products are in front of millions of people. Terry, do you have any commentary on that? I saw you kind of raise your eyebrow there.
Yeah, well, first of all, it is a great store. I was actually there last week, and it's just a really nice store and has all kinds of things. So we really have to get that across, the variety of things that she has. I also just want to say that, for the homepage for me, I'm always looking for, some kind of a call to action type of thing, which I didn't see. And I know for sure the site, being that it's older, is not a mobile friendly site, and that's always a concern and something that, Peg should really be looking to address as soon as she can.
And Robin's pulling up here the mobile friendly test. Robin, how do we get to this? You don't have to do it. Just tell us.
I just go to Google and I Google mobile friendly test, and it's like the first result usually. And it'll bring you here because it's a really long URL. But you just type in your website and press analyze, and it's like a pass fail. Either you're mobile friendly or you're not mobile friendly. And it gives you a couple little suggestions here. But if you really want to dig deep into how to make it better, I would use this one, also a free tool by Google. It's called PageSpeed Insights. It is a longer URL here, but what I would suggest is just opening Google and just looking for PageSpeed Insights. And so I put it in here, press analyze, and then you can see here's the mobile score, 64 out of 100. It's red right now. There's red, yellow, green, so you want to get at least to the yellow point. And then the desktop, 94 out of 100. And so that's an extremely high score, but you can see that there's still some items that need to be fixed here. So Google tells you exactly what you need to fix in order to make your website, to improve your website, and to also will help you in turn rank higher on Google. So you've done all of these items, but you need to fix these items.
Look at those picture names, Robin. Pagan Home 1, Pagan Home 2.
Yes, so those don't describe the picture at all. You want these to say like, clothing or, whatever material it's made out of, jewelry, and then, something really specific about that photo.
And when I did this website, so the reason for the high score, and Robin and I were talking about this, I believe earlier this week, that hard-coded sites from a long time ago actually score really well on the desktop because you don't have that WordPress framework that makes it really easy for anyone to update the site. That framework actually creates a lot of bulk in the back end and can cause most modern sites are made in these content management systems like WordPress, and that's why the scores are typically lower. But these hard-coded sites, which need to be updated by somebody that has a skill set like I have, which is being able to get in and modify the code, typically score very high on the desktop. But the disadvantage is Peg has to come to me to update this site. But if we create the site in WordPress, then she would be able to update the pages on the site on her own, and that drag and drop interface makes it really easy for that to happen. But then there's the flip side of that is there's other options or other things that come up in this PageSpeed Insights tool that need to be addressed because you're using that content management system like WordPress. Robin, tell us why being mobile friendly is so critically important here in March of 2016. Why is it so important to be mobile friendly versus not?
Yeah, so it's been almost a year. It was last April that Google sent out, if you have a Google account, you probably got an email, um, or or somehow you would get alerted, but to that they had a major update for mobile sites. That it was called Mobile Armageddon was the nickname for it. That SEOs gave this update. So Google decided, you know what? There's so many people going and visiting websites through mobile now. It's growing exponentially, and we need to do something about it. So they decided, hey, we're going to make a major penalty if your mobile site doesn't load, or if it's hard to use, or if you can't click on the right place. So a mobile site became extremely important. If you don't have a high score on this mobile score and your website's not user friendly, there's two things that could happen. Either when people search on their phone for you, they're going to get different results than on the desktop. So if, let's say, on your Google Analytics, 60 or 70% of your viewers are finding you through mobile, well, if you get penalized, that means that number is going to drop, and you're going to disappear off of Google, basically, if someone looks for you on their phone. That's an extreme item. And then the other thing that could happen would be that you have humans not being able to use your site. So if they're clicking on there, they can't move around, they're going to go on to the next competitor. So I have a blog article here all about Mobile Armageddon, and I'll put that in the chat. But you can see that if you don't have this for your website, it's like it's the equivalent of having a website not updated since the early 90s. It's that extreme. So Google will penalize you if you don't update your mobile site.
If you think about it, why would Google penalize me? What did they have against me? Why do I have to go through this? It's all about the end user. It's the person or the people in the world today are using their smartphones to look things up on the internet. And the statistic is that could be up to 60% of the time, 60% of the traffic being on the internet via mobile devices as opposed to real computers. And Google's creating these penalties to coax people into the year 2016 and offer their presence online in a way that adapts to what the world is doing, which is using these mobile devices. If we take a look at the right side of Robin's screen here, where we see Peg and Company's website, it's a tiny little box in the center of the screen, and there's no usability to it. I have to zoom in to be able to click on any of those tabs, and that is not user-friendly to a mobile user. So that's a very important aspect there.
And I would say in this day and age, and especially in some of the areas like where we are, and certain ones where customers are demanding, and they're going to want to open up their phone, see your website, touch the phone number, and call you up and buy something, make an appointment, etc. And if they don't have that ease of use, they're going to bounce to a different site and go ahead and do it there.
That's
And
right.
just because it works on your phone doesn't mean it works on other phones. So go ahead, and if you have any friends or family where they have different phones than you, go ahead and look at it on their phones or their tablets.
Yeah, every phone could be different. BlackBerry, iPhone, 4, 5, 6. I know some of those have S's at the end of them. Uh, there's the Plus version that's bigger. There's all sorts of Android phones. There's Microsoft phones. Yeah, you want to check it out and make sure that the website looks correct on all those different devices. Yeah, the what Terry said is absolutely true. People can go there, and if they don't see what they're looking for right away, they can't click the phone number. They just hit the back button and find the next company, and it's just that quick. We're in a society where finding that information instantly is expected, and if we're not delivering that as business owners that own these websites, we're not delivering the best possible experience for them, then we're missing out on a lot of opportunities that we could be capitalizing on. Robin, do you have any other tools that we evaluated the site with to take a look at?
Yeah, let's take a look at siteliner.com. And all I did was type in your URL, and this is what it came back with. It's recognizing that we only have one page on the website. Usually you're going to see a lot more pages on there. And then the duplicate content, it's not reading any right now. that could be because you don't have any duplicate content or it can't read the other pages on the site. So you get major penalties if you have a ton of duplicate content. I would say if you have more than, 5 or 10%, that's a lot. This is a good one too. Google Transparency Report. Here's the URL for that. I'll put that in the chat. Okay, so I put that in here and it says no available data. That could be because the way that the site is coded, it could be a number of reasons. But normally websites will come back with a whole bunch of data in here telling you about your website. That's under security and privacy. You can also look at if you have any requests to remove content. If people have requests against you for content, that can majorly count against you. So make sure you don't copy and paste off of other people's sites. It could also be if you copy and if you don't have your website and your blogs and all your content protected, someone else can copy and paste it on their site and claim that they wrote it. So make sure to protect your website. And if you don't know how to do that, there's a blog article on awesomedynamic.com to tell you how to protect your website content. You can also see traffic and just the overall view of this transparency report. You can get all this free information from this one website. All right. Then another website I like to look at just to check the diagnostics of your site is called gtmetrics.com. It shows your speed score. Speed is extremely important for ranking on Google. If your page loads slow, you are not going to rank. Or if you do rank, for some reason you got through the Google filters, someone's going to go to your site, it's too slow, and they're going to click off of it. So you can see this is under a second, which is great. She's got a score of A and a score of B for page speed score. So just a few things that need to be fixed here, but overall, a very fast website. It could also be because it's very little content on the website, so you do want to add more content though.
All right, I got a few things that I've pulled up here on my end, Robin, that we can take a look at. Here, just doing some Google searches. So this is one aspect of this evaluation on the webinar that I would like to start bringing in here is, okay, well, what might they want to be found for? And Peg, if you're with us today, please tell me what kind of search terms you'd like to come up with. But I just tried, jewelry Lake Bluff. And you come up right away, actually, as the first result, which is great. So we can see that we have the RD Jewelry Studio and North Shore Beads and Tools comes up. And if I click more places, we can see that Jewels of Lake Forest is the only one that has 5-star reviews that are showing within the first 10 or so here. And we see that other places, even Lake Forest Jewelers, you're showing up #1 for this. So this is phenomenal that you're showing up for that. But we want to make sure that you hold on to that position. And one of the ways you hold on to that is to get some reviews on there. I know that you were at our GYBO event, the Get Your Business Online event, this last Tuesday, and we talked a little bit about the importance of reviews, but making sure that you're the first one that gets the phone call. We could see that here at North Shore Beads and Tools, they actually have 3. Once they get 2 more, they'll have those golden stars showing here. And people will be calling them first, even though you're the first one on the list, because the eye snaps to those gold reviews, and people will make a decision to call that place first or visit this place first just because they have those reviews. So getting on top of getting those reviews is really important, and obviously since you came to our event on Tuesday, you had the opportunity of claiming and optimizing your Google My Business page, which allows you to help manage that and get people to the right place to leave those reviews for you. You can see that this is the local results here. As I scroll down here, we also have the organic results here, and we can see that your website, pegandcompany.com, does rank here in the organic listing here. We can see that Lake Forest Jeweler comes up, and we have some Facebook pages, somebody else. The top 10 jewelry places in Lake Bluff on Yelp's page is there. etc. So I just wanted to show you what's coming up for that particular search term. But if you want to dominate this and make sure that you're coming up here, you might want to spend some time on the website with some of the advice that we gave there. If you had a page specifically about jewelry, that would help you get a more prominent ranking position here and keep this ranking position here. Let's take a look at specialty gifts in Lake Bluff. So if I were to search that to look for it, we could see that I don't have any results that are local. In fact, the first two that come up are an 815 area code and then a Chicago one. So, but we could see that I think this is going to be your page on the Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber website. Let's just double check and see. No, it's just the specialty retail page with a whole bunch of businesses for the Lake Bluff, or Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber is coming up. But if you had created a page about specialty gifts on your website and you had it correctly optimized, not only would you be showing up here very prominently, but your listing could show up here instead of these guys that are not even in town. Taking a look at another one, clothing in Lake Bluff. The new Target that has been built is showing up second. One step ahead, leaps and bounds, is showing up here. And then we have McElroy Furs. But again, and then we have a Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber page is showing up here in the local results, but that's something you do have clothing, and you should be showing up for searches regarding clothing in Lake Bluff. And then again, if you had a separate page specifically for that and optimize your Google My Business listing to reflect that you do have clothing, the likelihood that you show up in here will be very much greater. Let's just take a look at some of the other potential items that are here. I'm not seeing you show up anywhere in here. Even Kittles, one of our other clients, is showing up here for clothing, and they're up the road in Market Square. Handbags. I saw that you had handbags on your website, and I just typed in handbags Lake Bluff, and right here we see plastic bag supplier, leather goods store. These places don't look like they're in Lake Bluff potentially. Maybe this handbags by fashion. I'm not sure. But again, a missed opportunity here that could be capitalized on. Here's your website that we talked about. Robin, you commented on the size of this being very small. Back in the day, we didn't have as big of monitors then, and now that we have bigger monitors and they're cheap, the sites that we made way back when look really tiny. But it used to be that the 15-inch square monitor was pretty prominent, so the site would actually look pretty normal in that size screen, but just wanted to comment on that really quick. When I was checking out other things online, I see that you do have a Yelp profile here. I was curious, it says 41 East Scranton Avenue, and that doesn't sound like it's the right address at all, because you're at 77 East Scranton Avenue. So this is a citation, something that needs to be fixed and needs to match your Google listing. We can see that it's in the complete wrong spot here. So this is something that you should come in here, claim this listing, and get it corrected. That's going to help with your SEO as well. Just taking a look at Yellow Pages here. This looks like it's 79. I think your correct address is 77, if I remember correctly. So need to get this one corrected. We see that you have a Facebook page here. And do we see the address on the Facebook page? Go to the About. Oh, I think I just saw it. 77. So this is your correct. So it looks like you're keeping this up to date. But you want to make sure that you have you have 4 reviews on here, and they're all 5 stars. So that's great. So get some of those people to leave reviews on your Google My Business listing. Let's take a look. We have your page on the Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber. You could definitely fill this out with more information, and I know you have access to this because I have access to the same thing on their website for my business. And I have pictures, and I have lots of information about what I do. I have links to each of the different pages of my website for the things that I do on my listing. I'll just show you what mine looks like. Awesome Dynamic Tech Solutions. You can see here's my pictures of different sites of clients that I have in the area there. If I go to read more, I think there's highlights. So I see these are all linked to the different pages, and if I click on responsive web design, it goes directly to my responsive web design page. So that stuff all helps quite a bit. I also noticed that you're on Manta here. You have the correct address here, but this is just another citation that's out there that I found and figured I'd bring up for this review. Terry, Robin, any other comments on anything that I've gone through here?
Not for me. Not for me. I think, besides all the big, talking about fixing the website and doing some things, getting those 5-star reviews for me is huge. We got to get those 5 stars up there.
Robin, anything from you?
No, I think we covered it pretty well.
Let me just see if here's her Google My Business listing. The other thing that I thought of here's the one review from Terry. Good job, Terry. So she's got her first 5-star review from us. You want to get some more of these. But you have this beautiful store that we talked about, and being able to tour the inside of the store, see pictures of it, that would all show up in here if you optimize that Google My Business listing. I want to show you one of our other clients right down the road from you, Twigs Flower Shop. I think it's Twigs Exquisite Flowers. But you'll see that they have this C inside, and you can click on this. And it would be wonderful to be able to walk through your place, Peg, and be able to see this level of detail, turn around, and take a look at some of the different items that you have there, so people really get a great idea of what you offer, and they can zoom in and really take a look at it. So this is a neat feature. It's a Google Virtual Tour that would really help people understand more about your business. And it's connected right into Google, as you saw, and allowed me to do that. And then I can walk right out on the street. And I know you're technically down here and around the corner here and over here. And if you had one of these tours, you're, I think, one of these right here. One of these buildings right here is where you're located, Peg. So I would be able to walk right into your business right here and tour the inside of your business, which would be really cool to have. All right, so we're going to move on to Mischief, but before we do that, wanted to do a couple comments. Number one, if you're joining us on the webinar here live, you're always able to go to awesomedynamic.com, and we have a little chat box set up. I'm going to pull it back up here so you can see it.
While you're doing that, I was just going to mention that for Peg, if she is listening, and if not, we'll get her the tape because she was at our seminar the other day. She could take advantage of that special offer that was available to people that were at the seminar for that virtual tour and get a really great deal on it as well. I have to do that. I am the sales guy here, right?
That's right. You definitely have to mention that. So here's the page on our website where you're able to ask us questions. Again, you can click this link and interact with us in the question answer. If you're in the question answer portion, please ask us any questions, and we'd love to answer those specific questions for you. Also, if you find this webinar valuable, you come to awesomedynamic.com, come down to the bottom, click on the Review Us link. This will bring you to our Google My Business page, and we'd love to get a 5-star review from you about how we were able to help you improve your presence online. But let's go back to Mischief's Brewing, and Robin, I'm going to flip the screen back to you, and we'll do your first impressions on Mischief's Brewing, located in Libertyville, Illinois.
Sure. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I did I did an audit of this website last November 2014. So I got a couple notes on that, and we'll see if and some stuff has changed even since then. So from Google. So the very first thing I noticed is that you don't want to. This is a great first page, but what I would do is you want to see the products first off, and you want to see everything you offer. So this page is preventing people from seeing everything that you offer quickly and getting to where they want to quickly. So this is like it's basically an extra click or an extra door to open up to get to your business. So I just want to do, how many clicks does it take me to actually buy coffee from your site? So here's one click. Now I'm looking around. Maybe I can't buy coffee. I can only do events and contact. Is there anywhere where I can find this coffee? It doesn't look like it. So all it says is, I know there used to be a cart on here, a shopping cart, so I don't see that you can actually buy it off the site now. And so if you want to make this into a retail site, that's something you'd have to add. The name, address, and phone number should be up here, and down here I can see that the logo is cut off a little bit when you go down here. It's kind of awkward. If you scroll up, you're back up here, and if you scroll down, you're on your, I guess what you would call your home page. So the products, there's no pages for products, so we're not exactly sure, you know, if you sell products, if you have the store, so what's going on here. And then we can see though that you can click on basically the events page. So if that's your main goal is to get people into the store, um, then that could be okay, but then we can see that there's no events going on. So the other thing I wanted to see is some sort of action. We do have a call to action here with entering in your name and email to get on the email list, but all it says is stay in the loop. So we don't know why we want to stay in the loop. Are you going to offer me free coupons for coffee? Are you going to offer me events? I don't know what I'm signing up for. Yeah, this logo down here is cut off, but if it was up a little bit, that would be much better. If I zoom out, so I'm now less than 100%. Now I can see it. It says 2014 here. This is the copyright date, not the established date. So this should be 2016. But yeah, so we definitely need some more product pages. And if I looked at this on a mobile site, let's see. Yeah, it wouldn't be mobile friendly. This is what I would see if I looked at it on a mobile site.
Terry, would you mind sharing a little bit about, you know about Mischiefs Brewing and who their target audience is, what kind of store it is, etc. Would you share a little bit with the viewing audience about what Mischiefs is all about and who their target audience is and what they want people to do?
And I did want to say real quick that I think Michelle had voiced to me that they were, definitely aware that their website needed updating and, was looking to us to sort of point them in the right direction. So none of this will be really a big surprise to them, but they did want to, get some input and also talk about how they were doing on their, online presence and see what kind of shape they were in for that. So this is a local, in downtown Libertyville, a lot of walking traffic there, right near the train station. So commuters, shoppers, that kind of thing, a lot of walking traffic when the weather accommodates us. And so, they do have a lot of events, which I know we didn't see any on there, but they typically have a lot of events to keep people in the shop and, some nice, I think, baked goods and that kind of thing to go along with their coffee and teas as well. Really cute, like fireplace, nice comfy chairs to sit down. A good place to, sort of just relax and linger. Not probably your typical, stereotypical, run in, run out coffee place, although you can do that, but not really the type of place.
All right. And
I just want to say one more thing. Is I like the logo. It's all cutesy, but then you have Mischiefs Brewing is like a really enticing name. You kind of want to know more about it. So there's really nothing on here explaining why is it called Mischiefs Brewing.
Right, you're absolutely right. So what is the mischief being called, or what is it caused? And I want to know more about that. Right.
Right.
So I'm pulling up some different. So we have a one-page site. If I read this, it says coffee and connection. That's what it's all about. And if that's what's really all about, I need to feel that when I get to that first page prior to that door that I have to go through to feel that. The other thing is, Terry, you mentioned the fireplace, how really great it is inside, the convenience to the train station. These are all things that would be great to know, and you have pictures to illustrate that beautifully right on the homepage, so I can see the kind of place it is. If I'm looking for a place to sit down with my laptop to do some work or have a meeting with somebody, and a networking meeting or meeting a client or a potential client, etc., which I have had those meetings right here at Mischief before, I don't get any feeling for what the space is like. I have no feeling for where it's located, and you have such a great location and great space that those photos should really be front and center right here on the homepage.
Yep.
It says whether you're stopping by in the morning commute or showing up for one of our many events to relax, Robin had a great point. The home page is saying many events. I go to the event page, I don't see any events. So if you don't have specific events that you're going to feature on the website here, have the events go to the events page on your Facebook page. Robin, would you mind visiting the Facebook page? We'll see if they got a lot more activity and stuff about what they're doing on their Facebook page. I kind of get the feeling that that's where I'm going to find some of that stuff. Let's see what they got here. So we got posts yesterday. Let's scroll down to see kind of what some of the Facebook posts are. Keep scrolling here. And keep going down. Let's see, you have good morning coffee, coffee of the day. So that's something that people might go to the homepage of the website to see. I didn't know you had a different coffee of the day. It'd be great to be able to feature that here. And keep going down here.
Yeah, and I would put a picture of it right here too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm not really seeing any events here. So if the events are a big piece of what you have, I think we really need to feature that more prominently on the website. There's something about jazz there too.
And then
So
you can also put reviews here.
yes, so they have 50 reviews, 4.7 out of 5 stars here. I'm going to flip to my screen here for a moment and take a look at their presence on. Let's see. Did I already have it up? I think I did. Mischief Brewing. All right, so here's the Google My Business. I just searched for Mischief Brewing, and it immediately presents your website. And this is a bad first impression that I get right here. I immediately see that there's 41 reviews with an average of 2.5 on Yelp, and this is coming up right away. And this is not giving me a good first impression out of the gate. When we were just looking at Robin's screen, we saw 50 reviews at an average of 4.7, which is a great first impression, but I'm not seeing this here. So this is something that you need to get on top of and handle. If you can get some of those Facebook reviewers to leave you great reviews on your Yelp page, that'll help augment this and make this look better. Also, you don't have any reviews on your Google My Business page here, and that's probably the most important place to have reviews, period. So if right here Google would show your great reviews right away, which would help me question, well, why is it like this on Yelp versus this? I know all about Yelp and what a pain in the ass they are to restaurant owners and a lot of business owners, but the people in the public don't know all that stuff. So to help combat that, get some great reviews on your Google My Business listing, so we see that you have those great reviews right here, and it causes them to question and want to explore further. Here's some of the great photos that you have. I mean, we see here's the front of the place. See the inside here, the great fireplace. I mean, here you have sandwiches and food, and I've had the sandwiches, and they're great. But I don't know anything about that on the website. I don't see any pictures of it, and that's a huge missed opportunity here. So just seeing the type of place that it is, these things need to be on the website. They need to be front and center on the website. Coming back here, you also have a virtual tour, so I can walk through the place. It's unfortunate that you did the tour during Christmas time, so it's always going to have the Christmas time stuff, although that does kind of show that you do decorate for the different holidays and things. But there is always an opportunity to update the tour to have it not be a specific holiday. Taking a look here, I also see that when I search coffee Libertyville, one of the other people that we work with, I know is right next door, Hansa Coffee. You can see that they come up and kind of dominate across the board for just coffee Libertyville. And there's a reason for that. You can see that they have 51 reviews on Google. And if we take a look, they probably have a whole bunch of different citations and such. But go here, Coffee Shop Libertyville. See the Hansa comes up right away. You're coming up right behind them. And here it looks like you actually do have 2 reviews, but you can see that they're your competition here. And I'd like to see you have a lot more reviews so you have your gold stars showing. So this way you're looking like a viable alternative to Hansa Coffee Roasters here. Go ahead, Terry. Sounds like
Yeah, I
you're
was
about to
going to
say
say,
something.
I mean, that the reviews is something that you can do that can be happen so fast, and being below them and them having the stars is, there's going to be an issue. I mean, if you had the stars, then you got a fighting chance with them, but right now, not a good situation.
Right. Coming here, I know that you do food, so I search restaurant Libertyville. And this is really going to be extremely competitive because I know a lot of the different business owners up and down downtown Libertyville here. But you can see that the Firkin comes up first, Wildberry, and as we scroll down, we see a lot of other places. But even if I just do lunch in Libertyville, Fodrax comes up, Picnic Basket, Egg Harbor, so not all the big bars. But again, if you had the reviews, some of these, like even Cafe Pyrenees, they have an average of 3.9. They only got 14. So you have a fighting chance of getting up here for lunch, at least somewhere close to the top here. And you're only fighting against 27, 28, and 35 for some of these places that serve lunch. So if you had just had a few more than them, you could potentially be showing up as a lunch spot here in these search results. And that's not so far-fetched to get. You already have 50 on Facebook, so try and get some more on Google. You could probably get a lot more business if you showed up in this area here. Take a look at that Yelp page that's here. You see the 51 five-star reviews, or 51 reviews, but they're not all especially flattering. But it's important to respond to the reviews that aren't as as positive here. And if you do have anything that people are saying about these different things, you want to respond to them and tell them that you care and that you're making improvements. If they have something critical, or if they are crazy, we want to make sure that we make them look crazy. So I get this person. This person says isn't the best, but they're talking about some of your discounts and things. So if you can find out who this is and reach out to them and maybe talk to them about a little bit about I think they're criticizing. Let's see what they say. Quiet place to study. I think it offers good ambience, decent food. Other places that are buzzing with people who are different concept. This place was satisfactory for me and what I needed today. Not complaining. So 3-star review for not complaining is kind of weird. So this is a great opportunity to respond back and say, I'm very sorry that you didn't think this was a 5-star place. I'd love your suggestions on how I could be a 5-star venue for you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the 10% discount for students and the free refill coffee in the house and the free Wi-Fi. We offer those things to create a 5-star experience for our customers. What else is it that we could do to make your experience better? Because that's what we're really passionate about. So that would be a great way to respond to this review and see if you can get them to up their review as a result because they see that you care.
And
Robert,
it doesn't.
You want to say something?
It doesn't matter how old the review is, you can still respond to it. But the recommended time to respond to any online reviews is within 48 to 72 hours because it shows that you're very engaged in the community.
Here, just a 1-star. See if we can give her some advice on how to respond to this one. I hadn't been in Libertyville for 8 years. Work brought me back to the area for the day. I stopped in West Formula Caribou Coffee. Spent a lot of time in the years earlier. Was disappointed to find that Mischief had taken its place. The interior is great, but pretty much identical to what Caribou had. I would think that the owner being lazy, then praiseworthy comment. I don't know what that means. When I walked to the cafe, it was completely empty, minus one woman putting together a crossword puzzle on a large table. There was nobody behind the counter. I stood there looking at the menu, waiting for someone to greet me for a solid minute or two. Then the woman doing the crossword said hi, and then walked behind the counter. Ordered iced coffee and cheap styrofoam Dixie cup that you'd buy at a grocery store. I gave her a look, and she could tell the cup annoyed me a bit. I went to the counter and realized the straw would not fit the lid. She assured me that it would, and I pitched the straw in the slot designated for the coffee stir. IMO, do you know what that means, Robin?
In my
In my
opinion.
opinion. All right. Really lazy, very unprofessional, really clueless owner who doesn't appear to understand the basics of perception. So this is an opportunity to respond to them. Very sorry that this was your experience. I definitely will, review with my employees that sitting behind, at one of the tables doing a crossword, as opposed to, being attentive when a customer comes in. I can't believe that had happened. We are very passionate about serving our customers. We do have. You could comment on the cups if you want and say that ours, they're not meant for straws. They're meant for people to sip. They talk about the cheapness of the cups. You could talk about how the cups are not cheap. But again, we want to make this place. I don't. This doesn't seem awful to me. So 1 star is definitely not something on their description. Awful would mean I walked in the store, someone threw hot coffee in my face and told me to get the hell out of there. That would be an awful experience. So this seems like this is way underrated, and I think we need to make them seem crazy rather than letting them make you look bad. So
I,
that's part. Go
yeah, I
ahead,
would
Robin.
also add to the bottom of it how to contact that they can contact you and give out the store phone number.
Hmm. And I don't understand what problem they have with it being Caribou Coffee before and it not changing the appearance. I mean, I love the classy charm of the place, and I think it's great. And you can even comment on that. They criticize you because it didn't change. Well, it didn't need changing. It was great the way it was, and people love it. And we wanna definitely stay with what people love. The key here is not to start a combative argument with them. You want to highlight all the positives, and have a customer service centric response. So this way, this person looks crazy rather than letting them make you look bad. So that's the key here. Anything else, Terry, that you wanted to bring up about Mistress Brewing while we're here?
No, I don't think so. I think we got it covered pretty well.
Okay. Just another note, Michelle, when you're on here, you can really put a lot of pictures up here of what you want people to see in the photos. So right now, everything is kind of being generated by the public. You can certainly post your own photos here. You just have to claim this listing and update it. And then if you know Yelpers in the area that give out 5-star reviews, invite them to come in. So this way you can get them to leave more 5-star reviews to help offset some of the negative ones that are there. That's another technique to use as well.
I would add it real quick. I mean, we talked about the Google reviews that she definitely needs to get working on it. And, simply, I mean, she has tons and tons of very happy, satisfied customers. She needs to just flat out say, I'm glad you're enjoying our coffee. Would you mind giving us a 5-star Google review? And if possible, try to get them to do it while they're there on the spot, because once they walk out, the chances of getting it done are much slimmer. So something she really needs to jump on.
Right.
Looking around the site also, beyond the reviews, I noticed that the contact page of Mistress Brewing seems to have more pictures, more information, more just useful stuff for her website or his website, their website, based off rather than the homepage. And in my opinion, a lot of this stuff should be on the homepage so people aren't getting that horrible first impression. And I was in the events section, and then last but least, just to maybe see if they had an embedded Google map, I went to the contact page, and I was kind of blown away with how much stuff is on there, which is good, but at the same time, it should also, a lot of that information should be on the homepage, which is very important in my opinion.
Right. All right. I don't think we have anything else here for Mistress Brewing, but I do want to circle back again to awesomedynamic.com. Terry, you want to highlight our services one more time as a wrap-up?
Sure, absolutely. So again, we do design the mobile-friendly websites. Make sure that you are seen on every different type of device. We are going to get your business found on Google. We showed you a little bit today about some of the SEO things we look at and what we want to accomplish. So we can do that for you. We are helping people sell products on Amazon, get millions of people to see your products right away. And again, you saw a couple examples of the virtual tours that we do today, and every bit of business can benefit from that, whether it be for a great preview of what your business looks like, whether it's to demonstrate the size and that you're not just a little maybe mom and pop store, but a big, nice store. Also, there are some SEO benefits to having that, especially if your competitors don't. And if your competitors do, you want to be keeping up with them, because SEO, as we talk about, is always about doing a little bit more than your competitors.
Absolutely. And Robin, tell us about leaving us a review.
Yeah, if you like this webinar, if you found it helpful, please leave us a review for Awesome Dynamic, a 5-star review. And you can do that by going to awesomedynamic.com and scrolling to the bottom here. There's a little button, Review Us. So you click that, and it takes just a few seconds, but then it'll automatically pop up with this button, with this box, and you can click 5 stars and just write, a couple short little sentences for us. And if you don't have the, a Google account, you could always go to Facebook, leave us a review.
All true.
All right. There it is. There's the review.
Or like us on Facebook.
Yes, you can like us on Facebook, review us on Facebook, 5-star review us on Facebook, right, Robin?
Yep, we always got updates on what's new, what's going on.
That's right. All right. So
Want to mention real quickly our events?
Yes, events coming up. Thank you, Terry. Going back to awesomedynamic.com, on the upper right corner, we have a GYBO event coming up. We have the events tab up here, and once we have that loaded up here, we're putting Lake Forest and Lake Bluff on the map. Our next event is on April 6th, and that's located in Lake Forest, Illinois, near 294 and 60. Is the place where we're having that event. That's April 6th. I think that's 9 to 11 a.m. Is that right, Terry?
I think we might be 9 to 12 on that one.
Okay. I'll pull that up in just a moment here. We also have these webinars every single week on Thursdays. So if you come down here to this section of upcoming free help webinars, you see today's was from 3 to 4 o'clock. Next week is at 12:30 Central, 12:30. So every single Thursday, except during holidays, we'll be having these webinars to help folks improve their presence online. You can come and watch the past webinars here. And, well, we also have a review party coming up on April 20th, Terry. I won't be here for this one, but you and Robin are running that one. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks again for joining us, and we hope that you found this valuable, and we'll go ahead and sign off now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.